Japan, coming from India, I feel like it's too quiet. Everyone is kind of busy. It might be depressing if you are living alone as well. Some of the Indians might feel it's kind of complicated here in Japan. In the beginning, they are just like, I want to get jobs, so that's why I'm learning Japanese. They also should get to know about the culture. I feel like Indians are kind of adaptive. My friends are like, bro, you are like totally Japanese. You are not Indian anymore.
Hey there, and thank you for tuning in. We're excited to bring you another great conversation today. If you like the show and want to support us, please hit the subscribe button so we can keep bringing you great content week after week. And if you're feeling extra generous, give this video a like and share your thoughts and comments down below. Thank you so much. And now, let's get into it. Welcome to Unpacking Japan. I'm Toby, and today we welcome Nikhil in the studio. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's like I'm so glad to be here.
You're a content creator from India, now based in Tokyo, where you moved to a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And you have an interesting story.
Actually, I have lots of stories today. Yeah.
But the story of why you came to Japan was interesting. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so like, it was not just one reason actually, but the biggest reason, if I say how I started learning Japanese and why I like wanted to come to Japan. So it was totally like, I don't really say that on like job interviews, because when they ask me like why you came to Japan, I literally say I used to love the culture. It's just like history and everything like that. But the real reason is Kimi no Nawa.
Your name in
Yeah,
English.
so like the movie called Your Name was the biggest reason. And like when I just watched, I was in high school, and I was like, after watching that movie in Japanese with English subtitles, I was solely like, I want to watch this movie without subtitles. And that's how I get into like Japanese language. And I started learning by shadowing anime and learning by myself. Like in the beginning, I joined some like language learning school in India, but because of like Corona pandemic and everything like that, it didn't work out. So I did almost like self-study. Yeah. And getting into anime. So like anime really make me continue learning Japanese, because there was some time I felt so like demotivated, and I was like, I might quit it because it's too difficult, and I'm not in Japan, so I don't really have anyone to talk there. So I used to literally talk with my cat, and because I didn't had anyone to talk, so yeah, I was talking to by myself, my cat, and people around the world. And yeah, that's how I started learning Japanese.
Do you remember the day you watched Your Name?
Yeah, it was like end of my high school, like when my like exam got like over. So it was like 2019, I guess, like somewhere April. Yeah, and after graduating, and I was like, now I want to continue with Japanese.
What was it with this movie that kind of stuck with you and made you want to rewatch it again and again and again?
Yeah, so the thing was, like, I used to watch anime actually a little bit, but this movie was totally like the Taki Kun and the Mitsuha, the character, two main character in that movie. They are totally trying their best to find something, and they are even trying like going into some other time travel, like time space, and trying to find each other. And it was kind of like, I really want to do the same thing. Like I want to achieve my dream. And I basically, not just the story, I love how it shows the real Japan in the movie. And by just watching the anime, I feel like, yeah, Japan is too beautiful. And yeah, that's how I get into like dramas. That's like how I get into like Japanese pop culture. And yeah, so like Shinkai Makoto-san made that movie, and after that I was like, I want to watch his all movies, and I literally watch his each and every movie he made it. And yeah, it was so great.
How is the perception of anime in India? Is it popular?
Yeah, it used to be very bad actually. People used to just think anime is just for kids. So like 5 years back, it used to be like that. But now it's getting too much opposite. But not just that, like when Tenki no Ko, the next movie after Kimi no Nawa came out, India don't used to get anime movies on theaters. So lots of different anime fans get together and they like sign petition, and they've signed like too much petitions. So Makoto Shinkai-san had to come to India just to like tell people like from now on each and every movie will be released in India as well. And he did like meetup, and I also met him when I just started learning Japanese. Yeah, so like people made that Kimi no Nawa and Tenki no Ko movie too much popular in India, and from now on, like till yet, and each and every movie is getting released in like India, even before America.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like I was like, yeah, it's very close to like Japanese time. Like if it is going to release in Japan for like, for example, like this month, it's releasing next month in India.
That's cool.
Yeah, with English subtitles, obviously. So they are not dubbing it, but yeah, they are like releasing it with subtitles.
Has this also now been the case for, let's say, the other popular animes like One Piece or Dragon Ball? Are these also now getting popular in India?
Yeah, it's too popular actually. So people really know about Chainsaw Man, One Piece, Naruto, DBZ, and DBZ and all these like Naruto, we used to watch in childhood as well, and it was basically broadcasting in Hindi when I was kid. But yeah, it was like they cut scenes out as well. So like for Shinchan, like Shinchan is kind of adult side as well. So like in India, they do lots of censorship. So we don't really get what is happening. So like there's a scene and they cut it out when Shinchan show his ass and all, and it's literally and he's just getting punched out, and we're like, why he's getting punched? So we're not getting everything like what is the reason he's getting punched. Yeah.
You actually worked for a little bit for a company or the India Censorship Board.
Yeah, so like after the India's like when I say like it got released, so before it was getting released, and they were again doing like Japan movies celebration, something like that, and they were doing censorship for Red Wimps concert and Kimi no Nawa and Tenki no Ko, and they basically hired me for like censorship.
So censoring the movie.
Censoring the movie. I started learning Japanese, so I was totally so happy because that was the reason I started learning Japanese. Like Your Name was the main reason why I started learning Japanese, and now working for them. So yeah, that was kind of dream come true situation, and I was basically sitting alone in the theater and watching the movie and eating popcorns and getting money for that. It was totally good.
Wasn't it difficult for you to decide to remove parts of a movie you love?
Yes, like I literally didn't remove anything. I was like, yeah, it's totally great movie. Don't remove anything. It's just too okay.
So you actually had the power to let it through as the original version.
Yeah, so like actually movie is not that much something to like remove. It doesn't really have anything to like remove. But for Red Wimps concert, there was some like abusive words, but I was like, nobody is gonna understand it, so let's just post it, and they agreed on that, and yeah, it got released as well.
What are the kind of general guidelines you get when you have to evaluate whether or not to censor a movie or an anime show? Is there specific content that they want removed?
It's just like if it's not going to be removed, it will be like it's 18 plus content or something like that. So not kids are not allowed to watch it. So we basically need to check like if there is too many like abusive words, like they're saying fuck a lot, or like any like other abusive words. So we basically say it's an adult content rather than like 5-year-old kid is going to be watching that. So we basically censorship. We are doing censorship with that actually. Yeah. Rather than removing whole content. Yeah.
So generally it's fine, but then it creates funny situation with an anime like Shin-chan, which is kind of made for kids, but then some of the content is censored, and the
like those type of because it's national television. So on national television, they literally remove everything if it is like for kids. So if he's showing naked body or something like that, so it's going to be cut out actually.
So you discover Your Name, you fall in love with this anime, and start learning Japanese. When is the first time you actually came to Japan?
I came to Japan like 2020. I guess. Yeah, 2022. I'm sorry. So like in the end of 2022, and it's like 2 years now here in Japan. And yeah, so like I came here for job. So like after graduation from Delhi University, I used to like post everything on LinkedIn. So whatever I'm doing, like freelance work, I'm doing like interpretation or something for like different companies. So I used to post everything on like social media, and whatever the movie like videos I'm making. And I actually also got first position for like all India Japanese speech contest.
Oh,
Yeah, so there's speech contest like national like North speech contest and all India speech contest. So I actually won both. So they also gave me like scholarship for like 1 month, like 1 month like fun scholarship. So like you just get to experience Japan, and you just have fun activities here. For everything is free, but at the same time, I also got job offer. So I basically rejected that scholarship, and I was like, no, I'll get work visa rather than getting a 1 month trip. Yeah, so that's how I basically get to Japan. And yeah, I started doing like sales and marketing using my like Japanese language proficiency. And that's how like now I'm improving my skills to like marketing and sales and some, yeah.
you said you liked the movie Your Name because it kind of shows the real Japan.
Yeah.
How was it like when you actually arrived here and you stepped into the real Japan?
Yeah, so like it was kind of different. So I used to think like Japan is like a Disneyland. So everything is so great, and people are so kind. Well, it's actually true. Like people are kind, but not everyone. So you get to know like there are some weird people as well, and there some people have like very old thinking, and they are not very open to foreigners as well. So like when you live here, you get to know like the working culture and the normal life. And if you like, as I'm living in Tokyo, so like some I find are very cold. Yeah, so like it's not that much good, but if you are just coming here for like trip and just enjoying overall Japan, it's kind of Disneyland. That's what I really feel. And the culture, like like in Japanese, they say reigi tadashisa. So like they are polite to everyone, and like omoiyari. So like before saying something, so they think like whatever I'm going to say, is it going to hurt other person or not? So those type of thinking, I like really think it's too good. So those type of perspective is not going to be changed in future as well. But yeah, there are some negative points as well. Yeah.
And you came here for work, right? So you had to go
Yeah.
straight to the office. And
Yeah.
what kind of work did you end up finding? Sales, you mentioned?
Yeah,
But
so
now
like
you do marketing.
yeah, in the beginning I was just 20 years old, so like I didn't really know like what I'm going to do and what is suitable for me. So I started doing like sales, then I did get into like recruiting in the same company, and then I tried management, and I tried like literally everything. But now I feel like I also do content creation, and marketing would be a good thing for me to like continue as a future, like my future path. And yeah, that's how I now I'm doing like marketing for different companies. Yeah.
Before we start recording, you mentioned that you work in a company that has like 400, 500-ish
Yeah.
employees, and you're the only foreigner.
Yeah, that's true. And even though there are some like member who are like from China or something like that, but they born and brought up in Japan.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so like they are almost totally Japanese. So I'm the only guy who just like started learning Japanese for like 3 4 years back, and also learned Japanese by myself, and came here to Japan like 2 years back, and didn't really know that much about Japanese things, and trying to cope up with everyone. Yeah.
What was it like starting work there?
In the beginning, working for a Japanese company, it was kind of terrible. So like each and every policy and everything, they will just give you like bunch of documents, and if it just kanji everywhere, and you'll be like, what's this? And they like it's all about like law of Japan, and you don't really know what is illegal, what is not. So working with Japanese companies, you really get to know not just language, you need to learn about law and what like legal things, like the term and condition and policies and everything like that. It was kind of difficult for me to learn all these things in the beginning. But yeah, people are very kind. So like if you ask your senpai, you like your seniors to like explain everything to you, and they'll help you out. So it's, yeah, I'm doing somehow.
Is this something that you had to adapt to, this kind of senpai kohai culture,
Yeah.
or do you have something similar in India?
It's not that much. Senpai kohai thing is not that much brutal in India, but in Japan it's like joge kanke. So like if you are senior, you have to do basically do orders to like your juniors, and they'll do everything for you. And I recently had a very culture shocking thing. So like in India, if you are the manager, you are the senior, you are the boss. So if everyone is planning to have a party, so boss and managers have to do everything like for the managing party, and like thinking about the place and everything like that, because he's the he's in the top position. He's the basically top head of that party. But in Japan, what they have done is like they asked me, because I'm the youngest guy in the team and I don't really have that much experience. So they were like, you are supposed to do everything, like finding the restaurant, like booking the restaurant, and like asking people's and about their schedule, and like making the meeting done. And I was like, really? Like I am supposed to do all these things? And they were like, yeah, this is how things work in Japan. So like if you are juniors, like you have to basically do everything, and basically eventually you will ask them to pay, but like managing all the things is supposed to be done by you. And I was like, okay, that's kind of different.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. You would assume that they wouldn't give the big responsibility of organizing an entire like office party to the most junior member on the team.
Yeah, so like it's totally opposite in India, because like I don't really know about everything, and I might mess up things as well. So like they are giving the responsibilities of like managing things, and to me, just because I'm like very junior. So it was kind of new thing for me. Yeah.
So where did you take the team?
Actually, it's still not done.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still planning. So like I'm asking them out, like which restaurant is like anybody have allergies or not, and like you have to think everything, like are you guys like okay with the drinking, what is the what like suitable time is like for you, or something like that. So it was kind of difficult for me to like manage everything and ask all these like schedule and everything to every person. Yeah, I'm working on it.
Sounds you have a big project on your hands.
Yeah, that's true. And it's not going to be on KPI.
No, it's just extra time.
Yeah, it's extracurricular.
Japanese companies have a reputation for some of them to, have very long working hours.
Yeah.
And you can't leave the office before your senpai.
Yeah.
How is it like in your company, in your experience?
In my experience, I didn't really feel that much. Yeah, so like my company is kind of big, and they also like the team I'm working in is a global team. So like they don't really ask me that much to like work excessively, like till the late hours. So whenever I feel like my like work is done and the core time is selected, so like it's from 10:30 to like 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
It's the core time.
Same as us here, nearly.
Okay, so like 10:30 to 4:30 you have to work, and after that basically you can just log out and go out and do everything whatever you want. And they provide like massage to us, everything like
massage.
Yes, like
maybe I need to talk to our CEO here. He can get some massage.
Yes, like in my company they have like three rooms for massage, and like they are giving different type of massage, and it's all in working hours. So yeah, we are going to office, and after lunch I feel too much sleepy usually, so I just like book the massage, and there's a person who'll do massage for you, and you just sleep for 1 hour, and it's too great. I feel like
this idea is going straight into the suggestion box after we finish recording.
Yeah, you should ask it.
You've been here now 2 years,
yeah,
working most of your time.
Yeah.
What are some of the big culture shocks you've experienced as someone coming from India?
Yeah, so like coming from India, I feel like it's too quiet. So like Japan, might be depressing for you if you are coming from India, and if you are living alone as well. So it's too quiet. It's not that much wild like as India. India is just, it's just too adventurous every day. So like you don't really even know like what will happen to you like tomorrow, and you meet like very crazy people there. Like some of them is very funny, some of them is like very adventurous. And but in Japan, everyone is kind of busy, and you don't really know. Even if sometime you want to ask like directions in Tokyo, and you'll like try to ask to someone, and they'll be like, ah, すいません、ちょっと今忙しいんで. So they will be like, I'm sorry, I'm totally busy. And like, okay, but if it is India, they'll be like, if you ask someone like, where's this place in India? He'll not just tell you, he'll be like, oh, come with me, I'll drop you there. So like, they are too much like friendly. I feel like in Osaka as well. So like people are kind of friendly. I've heard that. And yeah, so like if you are coming from India, Osaka might be a better place. Yeah, so like the people are more friendly towards everyone. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, I've never had that experience of someone telling me they're too busy in Osaka. If they don't have time, they will just bring me to someone else who can help, and then
Really?
they will leave. But they will. I've never had someone just tell me, "Sorry, I can't help you," and just disappear.
No, in Tokyo, it's just too much like cold people. So like if you are try to ask them in Japanese, obviously, but they will not. Sometimes they'll just ignore you, and sometimes they'll just totally say, "I'm busy. I'm sorry." Yeah. So that was kind of big culture shock for me. And the another culture shock was like, yeah, people will basically sometime, not everyone, do some sort of discrimination. Yeah, so like if you are gaijin, so if you are like foreigner, so they will be like, you are the one who is making noise or something like that. So one experience I had was kind of sad. And when I just recently come to Japan, and I was like, okay, that's Japan. It's very good country, and everyone is so kind. So I was like riding in a train with my friend, and we were talking about our sales meeting, and there was lots of kids around and lots of high school students who were like shouting in the train. And I was like, oh, everyone is so lively, so we can just talk about our like meeting as well. We were just discussing in Hindi. So when Japanese came, and he was like, he literally like just, if he felt like we are like noisy, he can say in Japanese like polite way, shizugani shite kudasai or something like that. But he was like, shh, damare, urusai yo. So he was really like, shut the fuck up if you say in English. So I was like, wait a second, it's not how Japanese people talk. So it is kind of rude. And I was totally like, I start speaking in Japanese, and there was obasan, basically a old lady sitting next behind me, and she also like supporting me. She was totally like, yeah, you were doing discrimination. And like I was totally happy with that. Like another old lady supporting me, saying that, yeah, you are doing discrimination with him, and everyone is also like very loud, and you are just pointing them. So yeah, I felt that time, I feel like, no, it's not everyone is so kind, but yeah, most of the majority of people are very kind.
What is the general perception in your experience of Indian people by Japanese people?
Yes, like they don't really hate like India or something like that. I feel like they literally love Indian people. It's not just like, it's just the overall gaijin image. So like foreign people are loud and they have those type of images. But Japanese people don't really know about India. That's what I feel like. If you ask like, what is first thing come to your mind if you think India, they'll be like Taj Mahal, and they'll be like curry, and they'll be like elephants, and like old type of image about India. I don't really know like Gandhi and like those things they have learned on the books, not about the current India. So yeah, but it's keep changing a lot. So like the new generations, I have like friends from like, they are just like 20 or 21, and they know too much about India. They can speak fluent Hindi more than me, I guess. So like, yeah, it's changing a lot. recently.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But those stereotypes are true, right? What do you think about when you think about Japan? Oh, well, curry and Taj
Yeah.
Mahal, it kind of comes up, I guess, not only in Japan, but elsewhere too.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
on your journey here, at some point you started making content.
Yeah.
Because nowadays you do a lot of Indo-Japanese content where you
Yeah.
compare both cultures, you interact with people from both cultures. When did you get into content creation?
Yeah, so actually, I was making content back in India as well. So like when I started learning Japanese, as I said, like I didn't really had anyone to talk in India. So I used to make videos all in Japanese, and I used to teach people whatever I'm learning by myself, and just to like record and check my progress. And I used to make videos, everything in Japanese, like how you can speak more fluently, how you can like learn vocabularies and everything like that. But nobody want to see Indian speaking Japanese. Yeah, nobody's interested in that. So I continued that just because I want to check my progress. But after coming to Japan, I started making shorts, and everything was in Japan, like Japanese. And recently, like 6 months back, I guess, I thought everyone is trying to like make content about India recently because of the population and everything like that. So it's my country. Why I'm losing that opportunity? Why I'm not using that thing? So I started making content in like English, Hindi, and Japanese. So everything is mixed up. So like nowadays, every Indian people who is learning Japanese and who is like into Japanese culture is knowing me just by like this Indian guy is living in Japan and his Japanese is good. So this type of image is building because I'm using English, Hindi, and Japanese as well. So yeah, I'm very happy to connect basically both culture, like India and Japan, using my content, and I really want to continue doing that stuff.
How do you balance making content in 3 languages on one platform?
Yeah, that's kind of difficult actually. I used to think English would be good because mostly Indians understand English. But comments and my audience are like, you should speak Hindi, you should speak Japanese too, you should use that language and this language. So I was kind of confused a lot. So like what language I should use to make my content. But then I thought like, English is basically a kyotsugo, a common language for everyone. So like, let's just take English for subtitles. So whatever language I'm speaking, it doesn't really matter. So until and unless I'm using English subtitles, and like sometime I switch to Japanese, sometime I switch to like Hindi, sometime I switch to like English. So yeah, but people like Indians basically who are interested in Japanese and Japan, they are learning Japanese and they obviously know English and Hindi. So they are in like very much enjoying my content recently. Yeah.
Yeah, the English subtitles are very convenient because before you came, I was also just looking a little bit at your content, and even though you were speaking Hindi, I could understand what you're talking about because of the subtitles. And
yeah, that's the thing.
Very interesting because for me, as well as a European, I have very few opportunities to hear the perspectives and experience of someone from India in Japan. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because I think there's a big community of Indians living here as well.
Yeah, there's like
lot of
lots
restaurants,
of, yeah.
A lot of people also doing trade, import, export, a lot of people working in tech.
Yeah.
So quite diverse, but it's more difficult to interact with them, I think.
That's true. Like engineers are everywhere. Like Indian engineers are there in America as well, but here in Japan, they are getting too much. So like in Rakuten, in like big companies, if you see like 30% are like all engineers are like Indians. So yeah, I feel like India is basically too much like trying to progress in tech thing. And like if you see all the CEOs like Google and like Microsoft, I'm not really sure Microsoft, like they like different big companies are Adobe and everything like that have Indian CEOs. So I feel like, yeah, if we'll basically try to improve our try to like adapt other countries' culture and try to like improve our skills. So like we can basically try to get a good lifestyle as well. Because sometimes I also feel like in India, people are not getting good work culture. So yeah, if you are too much passionate about Japanese culture and like Japanese language, I prefer everyone, like my followers as well. So like you should basically give your best to learn Japanese. Yeah.
So you do kind of different types of content as well. What is the content that is like the most sought after that people want from you?
Yes, like I basically don't like fix only one content. So recently I'm making more entertainment stuff. Like I'm showing different sides of Japan. I recently went to like abandoned island of Japan, which is like very far to Japan, and I showed like abandoned hotel, like haunted places. I'm showing like one day in Japanese high school, and like very entertainment stuff. And sometime I feel like if my followers ask me like tips about how you can came to Japan, how you can also come to Japan, and how you can like learn Japanese by yourself, so I also make content about that. And recently I'm basically making content of translating Hindi music into Japanese. Yeah, and I'm singing all this stuff. So yeah, so like I'm basically trying to showcase good side of Japan to Indians and other people as well, and also showing informative content and entertainment content to like Indians and like different part of like different countries.
What are some of the big questions people or your audience in India is asking about Japan?
It's totally like how you can come to Japan.
Yeah, that's the number one.
Yeah,
again
that's the
and
number
again.
one thing. Like how you can get a scholarship, how you can get the like study visa, work visa, and something. How you get to Japan. Basically, coming to Japan without any help. Like I didn't had anyone to like teach me how you can come to Japan, and I don't really have any experience to like studying in Japan and had a like study visa or something like that. And if you are like for like European country, you get something like finding a job visa. Is there something like that?
That is a good question. I'm not sure about the latest visa changes, so I don't want to say anything wrong here, but it's possible that they have added some options for people to kind of...
Yeah, so like there's actually visa for like job finding thing for different countries, but for India it's not there. So like people, until and unless they get a job being there in India, they don't really get an opportunity to come to Japan. And I didn't really apply for any company, and I just get a job opportunity to like work in Japan. So they asked me how you did it, and you were just 20 years old and you didn't had any experience, you were a fresher, so how you did that? So I just talk about how I did, and how you can also do that stuff. And it's not really hard to come to Japan and finding a job, but people don't really know how you can also do that. So I talk about that in my videos as well. Yeah.
And I imagine also the culture shock, right? You described India as being a daily adventure where you never know what's going to happen, and people kind of living life as it comes. And in Japan, it's more structured, more organized. So if you come to work in Japan, you also have to adapt to that, and maybe they're not fully aware of what's waiting for them here.
It's chaos actually. Like if you come to Japan and you don't know the language, even if you don't know the language, you don't know about their culture, because back in India, people are learning the language just to like going to Japan, and like they don't really like very interested about Japanese and like Japanese culture. They are just like, I want to get jobs, so that's why I'm learning Japanese. So like they pass the JLPT exam, but they don't focus on the like speaking skills and like knowing about Japanese culture. And when they came to Japan, they are speaking like textbook Japanese, and they are not getting like how you can basically about the joge kanke, and they are not aware about like how you have to basically connect to different people. And when you talk to people, you have to do like ojigi, you have to like bow, and every like small things they don't really know about Japan. So I feel like people should, if they are coming to Japan, they should not only learn the language, they also should get to know about the culture and how basically Japanese people talk, how they treat to different people. And like I've learned that gomen nasai, sumimasen, and arigato is must words, in which Indian don't really do. Indian people don't really say sorry about a lot. So after coming to Japan, I'm just like all time sumimasen, 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 sumimasen. But when I was in India, I don't really say sumimasen, like sorry at all. So like it's just very normal. And when I say sorry to like my friends and back in India, and they're like, why you're saying sorry to me, bro? Just don't say sorry. We are just friends. But if you are in Japan, even if you are like talking with your friends, you'll definitely say sorry all the time. So yeah, this type of small things I've learned after coming to Japan, and I think everyone should learn that as well. Yeah.
That's quite a cultural difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Like arigato and sorry. Like if you are doing some favor to your friends, back in India, it's obvious because we are friends. Friends don't say thank you. It's that type of like common understanding there back in India. But here it's like arigato is must. Like even if you are talking with your girlfriend, if you are talking with your parents, if you are talking with your colleague, friends, arigato is must there. So
have you been able, so we were talking about there's a big community of Indian people living
Yeah.
here, to meet them, to interact with them, and kind of their experience of moving to Japan and living here? Some of them have been here for a long time as well.
Yeah, I've talked to many Indians actually. There's a small Indian town in Tokyo as well.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's
cool.
called Nishikasai, with where like lots of Indian people are living there, and like in Tokyo, like Indian festival are like being celebrated a lot. So like there's Namaste India festival. It's very grand, like Indian festival held in like every year in Yoyogi Koen in Tokyo, and it's very big. And like Japanese people are dancing on like Indian songs and showing the performance, and Indian food and everything is there. So yeah, I've met lots of Indian people there, and they are saying that some of them are here just to like learn language, and after learning the language, they are trying to like get job as well. But yeah, mostly Indian just complained about like Japanese people are too much into rules and regulations, and kore dame, are dame, like this is NG, this is NG, and like you don't really have, you are not free like as much you are free back in India. So if it is your home back in India, you can basically do party, listen to like music, and do everything because it's just your home. But if you are here in Japan, so they say it's kinjo meiwaku. So like it's, you are bothering your neighbors and by shouting, by party, like doing party and everything like that. But yeah, so like those type of things are very difficult for Indians because Indians are like very much like party peoples. Yeah, they are like all the time they are doing parties, and they are like basically having fun with their friends and families. But here in Japan, if it is like after 8 p.m., you can not even listen to musics, and you cannot play like guitar and ukulele or in your like even apartment. Like some apartment allows that, but yeah, mostly is are like you cannot do this and that. So yeah, those type of stuff. Some of the Indians might feel that it's kind of complicated here in Japan in the beginning, but yeah, I feel like Indians are kind of adaptive. So like if you are here for like few months, so like you'll get used to it. Yeah, and I'm totally like, when I get back to India, my friends are like, bro, you are like totally Japanese. You are not Indian anymore. So I just like say sorry all the time. I basically obey all the rules.
You tell them to turn down the music after 8 p.m.
Yeah, not that much actually, but yeah, I say like, oh, don't do that. It might be disturbing to that, like disturbful for that people. So they were like, bro, you think so much. So yeah, but if you are in Japan, you have to think so much. Like if you are going to do some action, and it might basically hurt other person feeling, it might make him angry. So you have to think a lot.
That's quite a big difference. I'm very surprised because I also wonder in Europe, you know, when it's evening time, generally, of course, as students, we would do parties.
Yeah.
But you also know that when doing a party, you're causing a nuisance to your neighbors, and maybe they will call the police and break it off. But you might do it anyway. But in India, it seems like it's just completely normal. But if you're the neighbor, does it not bother you when there's like loud noise?
Well, sometimes actually it bothers a lot. But still, we don't really complain at all. Like still remember like I had very like important exam when I was in like high school, and I had like JLPT exam, and I was studying at like 2 a.m. and it's like midnight, and I want to basically focus on my studies, but I hear music like DJ. I'm hearing DJ from my neighbor's house, and I was like, uh it's again. But still nobody is complaining about that.
So
Like,
you just accept and move on, and next time you're the one who throws the party, and they have
yeah,
to
so
do
like we know like maybe I'll also do the same thing in future, so like let's just move it on. But so yeah, sometime if it is too much, like if it is like job interview or something like that, so you might ask them to like can you please lower the volume, and like can you just like stop it for a few times. So like, yeah, we don't really call police that much, because yeah, we know if we are calling police, it might be because we are neighbors, so we need to be in good terms. Like they might help you in some bad situation as well. So like, yeah, Indians basically try to make connections, like good connections with everyone. So that's the thing.
You started making content a few years ago, and you started growing an audience to
Yeah.
the point as now you're known as the Indian guy who speaks Japanese
Yeah,
and
that's
living
true.
in Japan. How has growing this audience and now having so many people interact with you changed your life here in Japan?
It changed a lot actually. So like the people, like as you said, like Ananya, the Mayo Japan, and the other creators, I used to basically, when I started learning Japanese, I used to shadow using Ananya's videos, because she was learning Japanese for like more than 10 years, and I just started at that point, and I was like, I want to talk like her. I'm a big fan of her, and now they are like my friends. So I feel pretty good. Like the people I used to think like they are my, like I admire them, I'm a fan of them, and now like I can talk them anytime I want. Like yeah, and they are very kind. I'm meeting them in personally. So those type of experience is very good. And whenever I like met some Indian and they say like, bro, you are living my dream and everything like that, I feel like personally I feel so low sometime, because if you are living in Japan, you might feel some bad time as well, and you like work is not going good, and you are feeling like, no, Japanese life is not good, I want to go back to my home, I want to meet my family. But then you get a message saying, bro, you are living my life, I want to be like you, and something like that. So you also get motivation to like continue your work, and you feel like, yeah, you are doing something great. So you are encouraging people, and you are motivating other people, other language learners as well, to like learn the language. So because language is not just a way, it's just not like you are just speaking the language. If you are learning some language, so you are also like trying to learn their culture. You are basically learning about that country people, how they think, and yeah, about the whole country. You are learning a lot. So I feel like you are not just learning the kotoba, you are learning the whole, you are being the bridge. And you are also, if you are going to that country, different country, you are also like representing your own country as well. So like if you do something bad, it might also impact a bad image to your own country as well. So like, yeah, so you basically take each and every step very carefully as well.
Have you had the opportunity to meet some of your fans in person here in Japan?
Yeah, a lot actually. When I said I went to like Indian events, so like it's, they sometimes line up to like, I want to take selfie and something like that, and I feel so good. Like even if I'm not in India, but I'm meeting my country people, and they are so like so much into my content, and they are saying like, I love your content, I want to speak like you, I want to be like you, and you are just 21 and 22, and you are doing this much, and yeah, I wish I can do the same thing and everything like that. So I feel so great. And yeah, not just people from India. When I'm just walking like to like in Harajuku and Shinjuku, I sometimes meet people from Nepal, like Pakistan, and I meet from Bangladesh as well. So like the neighbor countries of India, and they are also following my content as well. So it feels so great. Like not just India, I'm also like kind of getting like people are knowing me from like different countries as well. So like that's great. Yeah.
You've also had the opportunity to go on Japanese TV.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that experience?
Yes, like as not just like one time, I actually had an opportunity to appear on Japanese TV for like 2 times, I guess. Yeah. So first one was like being an Indian living here in Japan. So like NHK asked me to like basically they were starting radio for Hindi audience as well. So like they asked me to like basically do the interview about how it feels like being an Indian and being a 20 years old here in Japan and coming by your own. So I basically interviewed all these things for like NHK radio, and they also showed it a little bit in the TV as well. And recently I got to show up in a very few like famous show of Japan called Zip. So it's a morning show where they was showing basically foreigners having fun in Japan. So I told you like I went to I made a video on like being a high school student for one day in Japan, and that day surprisingly they showed up there on that school, and they were like, oh, you, and I'm the only one guy who were able to speak Japanese there. So they interviewed me and they were like, why you came to Japan, and can you basically explain why you are here, because for Japanese people there's nothing special here, because for us like Japanese high school, it's totally normal life, but for foreigners what it means to you. And I basically explained like when I was like I used to watch anime, and I used to like I literally love high school anime, and I see like their love life and like how they basically do bukatsu, like different sports activities and different things. So I used to admire it a lot, and I was like I wish I could do my high school, like I can basically live high school life in Japan, which I cannot do now because I'm 22 and I'm working here, but I can get the experience here by paying and basically enjoy here, and I can see like how basically Japanese high school student live there. So yeah, and then they interviewed me and they showed me on the Japanese national television, and it was a great experience. Like I didn't know that it was showing on the national television at that time, but my colleagues were like, they were watching TV and they were recording it, and they showed it to me. Bro, you are on like national television, what are you doing there? And I was like, oh, I didn't know about that, but it was kind of great actually.
How different is Japanese high school and Indian high school?
It's totally different, because Indian high school, as far as I know, like in my time basically, it was totally focused on studies. Not like Japanese high school. They focus on very much like on different activities. Like if you are good in swimming, so they will try to push you in swimming. If you are good at soccer, they will push you on soccer and everything like that. And that's how I feel like that's why Japan gets too much Olympic medals, like gold, silvers, and everything like that. And India is not getting that much because India is totally focused on study. So sometimes we like there's a sports period here back in India as well, but they used to cancel it just because like, oh, let's just study maths, the mathematics, let's just skip the sports period. And I was like, why? So because it's also important, but India is like all about studies and all about the marks and whatever the grades you are getting. What, like if you are getting science streams, so you are very intelligent, but if you are getting arts, humanities, everything like that, you are very lower grade student. And I literally had art stream, so I used to study about like history and like basically literature, and people used to say like, you have no future, bro, you are getting this stream because you cannot do science.
And
like
yet here you are in Japan.
And yeah, I'm here in Japan, and they are doing like such shitty job back in India, and they are not, some of them are like unemployed and not really know about what they want to do, because I was totally clear what I want to do in future. And they were like, yeah, if everyone is getting science stream, if my mom and dad is asking me to like get a science stream, I'll do that. And even if they don't really interested in that. So I was totally interested in learning language, learning basically literature, and basically I love to like read stories and something like that. So that's why I was too much into like getting into like art stream. And basically I'm happy to say that like my mom and like my parents basically supported me and don't ask me to like you should take that and you should basically you have to be a doctor, because in India it's like if you are a guy, your parents want you to be a doctor or engineer. It's kind of similar to China. So like doctor and engineer used to be like very top tier people back in India. But recently, it's this type of thinking is going to be changed, I guess. Like influencer is earning more than that. So yeah, it's kind of getting like changed little by little. But yeah, for like 5 years back, 10 years back, it was totally like you have to take science stream even if you don't really want to take it.
Actually, quite similar than in France.
Really?
Yeah. It's very similar. In high school, we have the different kind of path you can take.
Yeah.
And science is also considered as being the best. You can study whatever you want. After that, if you go to the literature thing, you cannot become engineer, you cannot become doctor.
That's true.
The image is stigmatized as well.
Yeah, that's true. So like people basically judge you on your streams.
One thing that's very big in Japan is Matsuri. And
that's true.
actually, these festivals here in Japan, you also have a lot in India, right?
Yeah.
Holi, for example, I think is probably one of the biggest one. How do they compare? How is your experience going to a Matsuri here in Japan compared to Indian or traditional Indian festivals?
Yeah, the best thing is living in Tokyo, you can experience every Indian Matsuri as well. So like we celebrate Holi back like here in Tokyo as well, and it's too good. I'll basically recommend you to come to Holi in Tokyo. It's so good. And like people from America, like from Japan, from India, they basically gather and play with everyone. So, but I personally enjoy Japanese Matsuri a lot, because like the Natsu Matsuri, like Hanabi Taikai, like the fireworks and everything, you cannot see in India. So like there's firework, there's Diwali, a festival of like fireworks. It's a festival of lights, and people basically shot fireworks by themselves. But it's not like people gather and just see like beautiful fireworks. So I personally enjoy a lot. I personally enjoyed like Japan have like according to the place, they have different type of matsuri. So like if you go to like Hokkaido, you will see different type of matsuri there. Like if you go to like Osaka, they have their own matsuri, and in Tokyo they have their own. So like it's too good, and I personally enjoy both, because I'm here in Tokyo, and in Tokyo you can also experience Indian festivals and Japanese festivals, and I love my culture as well and Japanese culture as well. So like I personally enjoy both of them.
Is the way that things are being celebrated very different?
Like which?
So Japanese festivals usually have like a very strong tradition. You have kind of also procedures and things happen there. And around the festivities, you have all the yattai and the food stalls. And people go and eat and walk around. I don't know much about Indian festivals, but I know that it's very colorful. It's
but in India actually. Yeah, you said a great thing actually, but in like as you see in Japanese festivals, it's more about the organizing thing where everyone come, and you have yatai like stalls, and you can eat foods and everything like that. But in Indian festival, it's more about family and friends. So you go to your family, like your relatives' home, you go to your friends' home, you share the gifts and exchange it, and you meet your friends and people and hang out with them. So it's not like all strangers are going together in the same place, but it might happen in some parts of India, but not everywhere. So most of the Indian festivals are like they basically try to be with their family and friends and enjoy with them. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
Very different. In Japan, I feel like not so many things are done at home.
Yeah.
It's usually you go out, you meet friends at the restaurant, you meet friends at the festival.
Yeah.
But you don't invite people over that much.
Yeah. So like in Japan, it's like event. Like all the festivals are like events where everyone came and gathered there. But in India, it's like more about friends, family, and you go their home, you change your like gifts, and yeah, enjoy the quality time. Yeah.
You've been here now about 2 years.
Yeah.
And you're doing content creation. You're working full time.
Yeah.
What's next? What are your plans?
Yeah, so like I really want to like continue doing content creation because actually I started it as a hobby, and still it's my hobby, and I don't really see it as a economical thing basically that I'll earn money from it and everything like that. I basically enjoy making content, and I didn't even thought like people will get to know about me, and people will say that I'm a big fan of yours or something like that. But now I'm getting that fame as well, so like that is very, very good, I guess. Like I feel very happy when someone says like I'm a big fan of yours and something like that. But yeah, so I want to continue doing content creation, and also like for a few years I will basically work as a basically full-time employee here in Japan, and maybe in future I'm thinking to like start my business, but I'm not really sure like what I should do and what I'll do in future. But I have lots of things in my mind, but yeah, I'm not really sure like which one I should pursue.
I guess connecting India and Japan has many opportunities
Yeah.
that waiting upon to be explored.
Yeah, actually, as India have like world biggest population, and Japanese market, not just Japanese market, like whole world is now like trying to target India as well to like expand their business. So yeah, I can also basically thinking like I can try to connect India and Japan, and I can be the bridge for like language learners, for like business, and try to like do something around that. Yeah.
What about the content side? Do you enjoy it as a hobby? Is there anything that you'd like to do? Any type of video you want to make, or any place you want to film at?
Yeah, so like I've never been to like Hokkaido and like Okinawa and different type of basically places of Japan. So I want to explore whole Japan and explain to my audience each and every place of Japan have their own history, like own culture, own thinking, own dialect. So like I basically need to show different sides of Japan, and not just only good sides. I also want to basically show the real Japan to the whole world. Basically, it have some bad sides as well, and it have good sides as well. But I personally feel like 90% of things are very good, and it's very clean, it's very beautiful, and people are very kind. So I love to spread those type of good type of content as well. But at the same time, I don't want to make it like Japan is full of like beauty and it's like a Disneyland, everything is great. It's not like that. So I want to also talk about that type of things, and yeah, basically show the real Japan is my one of the main target. And not just that, I also want to basically remove that like stereotypical thinking of Indians,
Curry Taj Mahal,
Curry,
and
Taj Mahal,
elephants.
and elephants. So basically, I want to show India to Japanese people as well. So like this is like Bollywood. This is like India is one of like getting like top 5 economies of the world, and basically India is doing this and India is doing that. Basically, India is doing different type of things and innovation, and we don't really know here about India about. I'm sorry. Like, so India is doing very much innovations, but we don't really know about that here in Japan. So I personally feel like, yeah, people should know about that as well. So I might be the bridge to basically convey everything here in Japan, and we basically can use it to showcase India here in Japan as well.
And you mentioned you were already translating some Indian music here for the Japanese audience.
So currently the RRR movie and like Bahubali and like Three Idiots, like Kitto Makuiku, and there's lots of Bollywood movies are getting very popular in Japan. So I feel like not just movies, Indian music is so good. And I personally love Hindi music a lot. So I feel like to make it very like familiar to Japanese audience as well, I can what I can do is like I can translate Hindi music into Japanese and I can sing that. I'm not a singer, but I can basically share like this is how Indian lyrics are. Like Indian lyrics are about, like my Japanese friends say a lot, like Indian lyrics says life, jinsei word a lot. So which is not there in Japanese music. So basically I can show the thinking, I can show the culture of Japan, like India, to Japanese audience as well by doing that. And I love enjoying Japanese movies here in India as well. I recently watched a movie. It says Bajrangi Oji-san. It's in Hindi, it's Bajrangi Bhaijan. But when I went to the Japanese theater and I recorded basically the experience about how was the experience of watching a movie in Japan, like the Bollywood movie, and every Japanese people were crying after watching that movie.
Really?
Yeah, and I've never seen Japanese people crying in theater, because like shouting in Japanese theater, speaking in Japanese theater, recording, and basically showing your emotions is prohibited, I guess. Like it's banned. You cannot basically speak at all in Japanese theater, and it's opposite in India. So like if you are watching movie in India, people might shout after watching their favorite actor and actress. They will be like, "Oh, it's Shah Rukh Khan," and they'll basically clap after the movie. So it's totally different thing. But after watching the Indian movie, and I was seeing Japanese people crying, being emotional, and that was a great experience for me as well. Like, oh, they are connecting with Indian movie, and I feel personally great. And when I shared that experience with my Indian audience, and they also love it. Like, yeah, Japanese people are trying to like understand India more, rather than just saying it's only all about curry and everything like that, stereotypical things, and also enjoying the pop cultures and movie culture of India. Yeah.
So you've got a lot more things to share and a lot more bridges to build.
Yeah, so like not just cultural thing, the entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
and the basically thinking side, the tourism of India, I'm sharing a lot. Yeah.
You came because of your name.
Yeah.
Or thanks to your name.
Thanks to you.
And there is this iconic place in Tokyo,
Yeah.
the staircase
Yeah.
in the movie. How was it for you to visit that place finally,
Actually,
after having it in your mind for a few years?
Yeah, it was so good. Actually, when I came to Japan, when I landed to Japan, that was my first place I went to. So I called my mom, like I did video call with my mom, and I was showing, look, mom, I'm here. And she was like, you went to Japan, and the stairs, that is the first thing you are going to basically visit. I was like, mom, you might not understand it, but yeah, it means a lot to me. And I made a video on that, and it get too much viral. And not just me, like Indians, I feel like lots of language learners started learning language just because of your name. And when I made that video, like why I started learning Japanese, and then I showed like that was the reason that I showed that staircase, and people were like, yeah, I can feel you, bro. I started for the same reason, and I feel so good. Like people, like I'm not the only one who started with that reason, and people are basically connecting with me with the same reason, and they are basically feeling the same thing what I felt at that time. Yeah.
Nikhil, what a great story. Thank you for coming today and sharing your journey here to Japan.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
I hope maybe a lot of your fans will enjoy listening to your story here again and be inspired also to step in your path and make the journey all the way here. Thank you everyone for listening and watching. This was Unpacking Japan, and we'll be back again next week.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future conversations. And we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this episode, here are a couple more that we think you'll enjoy. Thanks again for your support, and we'll see you next time.